seconds ago, I didn't have any apps to share, but I do want to share an app with you all before we get into our discussion topic. I'm going to bring it up on my phone. This app is called Gas Buddy. If you don't use Gas Buddy, you're wrong. Now, here in Sierra Vista, it's not that critical. But in the major towns, like if you go to Tucson, Phoenix, anywhere else, it can save you lots of money. Let me show you what we get. Find gas. I'm going to click on Find Gas, and it brings up for me, wow, prices dropped overnight. Okay, it shows me what the gas prices are of all the stations in town. I can do it by the price. I can show it by the deal price, distance, how far from me, by price. I can do it by distance. Okay, the closest one to me is the Union 76, who dropped 20 cents a gallon overnight because they were at $4.99 yesterday. I can say regular, mid-grade, premium, diesel, unleaded, E85, whatever I'm interested in. I can say cash or credit, credit only, and a significant one there is pay with Gas Buddy. Now, that's an important one, and I'll show you why. Okay, let's say that Valero, it shows $4.79 strike through $4.66. Now, what that means is that I get the Gas Buddy debit card, and I use the debit card for that gas transaction. I get the gas at $4.66 a gallon instead of $4.79. Yes, directly to your bank account. It's a debit card. If you want to use this, what you have to do is click on the deal and activate discount. And that activates when you use the card. If you don't have that card, you can't enter your credit card number. And it takes 2 to 3 days to get the discount. So you can use a credit card. It's just not nearly as convenient. So this is done. And let's say I want to find out, oh, geez, I'm going to go up to Tucson. Let's find out, because we were talking about the prices in Tucson. At the Circle K on Tonka Verde and Kolb, it's at $4.37 cash. Okay, Sam's Club is $4.38. Costco's sitting at $4.39. Actually, that's worth the trip to Tucson. I can get $4.45 minus 18 cents a gallon at the Circle K. So this app is really worth getting. Now the price of it is a little on the high side. It's free. You can't get rid of the ads, unfortunately. But I use Gas Buddy probably as much as any program I have to find out. Now, be perfectly honest with you, if it's within 5 cents, I don't care. Because on 10 gallons of gas, it's only 50 cents. So it's not worth, but if we're talking about 30 cents a gallon difference, yeah, I'll drive across town to get it. For 1 or 2 cents, no. Now, the other trick is, if you get the Circle K gas card, your first 1,000 gallons, you get 30 cents a gallon, regardless of what the price is, 30 cents a gallon cheaper from the cash price. No, from the credit price. So I use that quite often because it'll be the cheapest price in town by a long shot. But it's only good for the first 1,000 gallons. Make sure that you get it here in Arizona, because not all Circle K's carry it. When I was in California and I realized we stopped in Yuma to get the card, no cards. They were out. Went into California expecting to be able to pick one up. California doesn't have that program. So we had to pay, fortunately I had my Gas Buddy, which I was able at sometimes to get as much as $1 a gallon less using Gas Buddy in California. So that's Gas Buddy. Now I believe you can get the Gas Buddy through Safari. You can get the Gas Buddy through the app. Find gas. Search. Let's try Sierra Vista, Arizona. There we go. So you get through Safari. That's why there's no app. On the mobile phone, it makes more sense. But it is available through the Safari on your Mac. But you don't often drag your Mac to the gas station with you. Now, let's go on. The major topic, I'm going to go to Mike first. Let him talk about his Windows bypass login.
This is just a simple little tip that I use. I noticed I've been getting spoiled lately because my laptop there, this newer laptop, uses a fingerprint for sign in. My Surface One that I have at home, that uses facial recognition. My old desktop, which is 8 years old, still uses a login, and I get tired of having to stop and do a login. There is a way around that with Windows. By default, they always, of course, make you create an account, and you have to log in. The way that you get around that is go into the Windows search box and type NETPLWIC. That brings up the old network user account dialog box from previous versions of Windows. They have a lot of stuff still in there from old Windows that's really kind of difficult to get to. That's one of the things. And it's very simple because that box, it's where you can assign user rights to different accounts. But what you're interested in is there is one checkbox that says users must enter username and password to log in. Uncheck that, and when you boot up, then it will automatically go ahead and log you into your default account without stopping. And I use that all the time on my desktop. So just a little tip, because my desktop, I'm the only person that uses it. It's at my home. I don't care about security on it. If somebody breaks in and steals that, an old 8-year-old computer, I'm probably gonna have other things to worry about. So it's
insurance money.
the insurance money. So yeah, that's just one fast way to bypass that if you're not concerned about security on your computer.
Great tip, Mike. I didn't even know. How'd you find that one?
It was through somebody's tips and tricks.
Okay. Because I never even knew about that one.
I must have run across it years ago because I've been using automatic login, but I don't remember doing it this way.
Yeah. There used to be a control panel.
Right.
You could security control panel.
And you can still get to it if you search for a control panel, and it'll actually bring up that whole dialog box.
Really? Okay. Next, we're going to talk about, and this is something that's going to be very important to everybody. It's not a long topic, but it's an important one. How much internet speed and bandwidth is really enough? All this, keep hearing faster, more bandwidth. How critical is speed as opposed to bandwidth? Bandwidth is how much data you can bring down. Here is the rule of thumb. You need 25 megabits per second speed for each streaming device in your home. If you just have a computer accessing the internet and you are not streaming video or music through it, you need 5 or less. Okay? If you are streaming, so that's speed. So let's say that I have my Apple TV, which is on almost 24 hours a day. I need at least 25 megabits per second. I have my Mac, my iPhone, my iPad, my wife's iPad, Mac, and phone. But how long are they on altogether? So all of those together, I'm going to say 10 megabits per second, because we don't stream, rarely stream with those. So my rule of thumb is I need about 35 megabits per second to be comfortable. Okay, I was sitting at 150 megabits per second. I said, wow, I don't need all that speed because I'm not doing a lot of uploads anymore. I'm not doing a lot of downloads anymore. So I dropped from 150 down to 50, saved myself almost $50 a month. Have I noticed any difference? The only real difference I know is upload speeds are slower. So I do see it takes longer to get something uploaded. Other than that, I don't notice it at all on the streaming. Now, but there's two sides to this, and this is data cap, how much data I'm being given. If you are streaming, you need to be, and you do not have unlimited data, then you need to watch your data usage daily. Because if you go over, it's going to cost you. Now, I do two things at home that I need data for. I have cloud backup, which we're going to be talking about, which is what brought this topic up, and streaming video. Because of that, I realized, well, I didn't realize, I found out I was blowing off my maximum data about 2 weeks into the month. And all of a sudden, Cox would come by and start charging me more. And Verizon would come by and start charging me more. I said, this is nonsense. So I got both unlimited data on both plans. That way I don't worry about it. Now, Verizon does have a cap, where if I go over that cap on unlimited, they'll slow me down. Have I reached that lately? Have I reached it? Yeah, 1 month when I was hotspotting, because Cox was down, and I was having to use my phone as my internet connection. Yeah, I did. Now, let's talk about your phone as an internet connection. Most of us are plagued with Cox. They're expensive, the reliability is questionable, but we have no real alternative anymore. There is one in sight. For those of you who have AT&T, T-Mobile, or Verizon, one of the three, they will be offering shortly internet in the home. For Verizon customers, it's $25 a month. No speed restrictions, no data restrictions that I'm aware of. That's a lot better than the $100 a month I'm paying Cox right now. It uses 5G technology. Right now, it's only, according to Verizon, it's only available in Phoenix. Even though we have 5G down here, it's only available in Phoenix. If you have the neighbor app, next door neighbor, there's been a discussion going on for the past week. Some guy claims that he's gotten it here at Sierra Vista. According to Verizon, at the store, down by Walmart, and according to the website, it ain't here at Sierra Vista. So I don't know how he's getting it. But what you'll get is a little box that will replace your cable modem. And what it is basically a Wi-Fi cell phone without the phone. And that's how you get your wireless internet. It'll come in and go into your router, and you'll have it. And that's coming. Is in your home, if you have a dead spot, you can put a Wi-Fi booster in, and it will boost up that signal. It will not boost up
what you have.
Verizon coming in, except there are ones that will do that. If you're in a very low signal area, you can get a Wi-Fi booster that connects into, you can put in your home, that will take the signal and boost it. But it has to be designed specifically for doing that. Verizon has them. I don't know if they have them here, because the signal almost everywhere here in town is good. Today, we've got much better technologies, such as 5G. My phone on 5G is as good as or better than Cox. As a matter of fact, when Cox goes down, I just switch my whole house over to using my phone, and it works like a champ. Now, one time I did get Verizon complain about all the data I was using, because that particular month, my daughter and I were both using hotspot a lot. Well, that shot our data usage up clear out of sight. But other than that, we were good. So that's what we have. So take a look at what you were doing. You may be able to downgrade and save some money. You don't need maximum speed unless there's a reason for it. Speed for the sake of speed is not necessary. General rule of thumb is 25 megabits per second per streaming device. Okay, imagine this screen is my TV at home. I do the same thing I'm going to do right now. There it is. That's my phone on my TV set, wirelessly. You don't see any wires, do you? It's being projected. I do that at the house all the time. When my daughter calls FaceTime, I'll take and put it on the TV set so we can see her. And that's how I use it with my iPad. Now, if you're going to be doing that on a regular basis, you should get a 4K TV set, because the resolution on a 1K TV is not good enough to substitute as a computer monitor. 4K is. That's the type TV set. It's a resolution, ultra high resolution. And they run, what are they running right now? About $1,000. But that price is going to be coming down starting right now. I've been seeing the sales coming in. There's a glut TVs, appliances on the market today. They all came in out of China at one time, and so they've got to clear the warehouses out. I'm seeing large screen TV sets. My daughter's been wanting to get a bigger, her screen right now is about like this, okay? And at her new place, you can barely see it. I complain about it constantly. I was looking at a 55-inch TV for $139. That's not bad. You know, I can almost afford that. 8K, I haven't been looking at. 4K, I haven't been looking at. 8K, that's iffy right now, is whether that's going to become a commercial product or not. Because 8K, we're talking about the resolution, the detail that you get. The 4K TV, if you want something really exciting, go down to Best Buy and ask to see a 4K TV. Say you're interested in it. Don't buy it. And it is stunning. It is stunning. Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, Mike, speaking of scams, be sure and check your credit card for an Uber Eats pending. That's the name of it. It's not pending in the credit card. It's Uber Eats pending is the name of it. If you see that and you haven't used Uber Eats, challenge it. It showed up on one of my credit cards, and it wasn't the credit card we normally use for Uber Eats. I thought, well, maybe for some reason my daughter, I don't know why she would, because she just goes up and orders it, and it goes on the center. So I said, did you? She said, no, I have not used Uber Eats in a week. Okay, then what's this charge? So I got a hold of the bank, closed down the card, put an inquiry into it, and then I did a search on the internet about it. Come to find out, it's a well-known, hundreds of people reported it. So I got my money back. It was a bogus claim. And this what they do is, so you understand, is that they don't have to get your credit card. They will go through and generate card numbers and on a site that does not ask for the date or the CVV code. And when they get a hit, that's when they make the charge to see the charge go through. If it does go through, then you can expect a big charge. I found this out from the bank because one time I was sitting there with a $5,000 charge on one of my cards. Fortunately, the fraud alert kicked in as I was filling up at a gas station in Las Vegas, and they turned my card off. I said, "What gives? Well, did you just make a cruise reservation for $5,000 on your card?" "No, ma'am, not at all." "Well, it just popped up. How is that possible?" And she went to explain it to me. It's getting harder and harder for them to do it, but it still can be done.